we're based. Olympic Sports Centre Gymnasium. Doesn't it look beautiful at night? Well, our next match is men's singles, and the #1 seed, Antonsen, who's won his last 2 tournaments, up against the man that won gold at the Hangzhou Asian Games, Shi Feng of China. Well, this is the most diverse of all 5 disciplines because there's 7 different nationalities. There's 2 players from China. We did originally have 2 players from Denmark, but Victor Axelsen, the defending champion, unable to play because of a foot injury, and he's been replaced by a Chinese player. So now, instead of 2 Danes, we have 2 Chinese players. This is the only discipline where all 8 players qualified and contested in the Olympics earlier this year, which by my book makes it the strongest discipline of all 5 here at the World Tour Finals. So Antonsen, the #1 seed, who won the Denmark Open and the China Masters, his last 2 tournaments, up against Shi Feng from China. Well, here comes the Dane. Replaced his teammates, Victor Axelsen, the Olympic champion, as world #2. And there is a possibility, as Steve was telling me, that he could go to #1 on the world rankings after this week here at the World Tour Finals. Well, he would have been delighted, this man, Shi Feng, to get the call up to replace Victor Axelsen. And for Shi Feng, it's actually his 2nd consecutive World Tour Finals. He finished 3rd in his group last year. The man he lost to, he won 2 matches in his group, and the man he lost to was the man he faces today, Antonsen. Antonsen has won the last 2, including the quarterfinal of the Denmark Open, which he obviously won because I've told you he went on to win the Denmark Open, Antonsen. One of his last 2 tournaments and 2 titles. So he's chosen to start the near side of the court, if I'm right on that, Steen, and then Shi Feng has chosen to receive. Was that right?
Yeah.
So this is Antonsen, the 27-year-old from Aarhus, enjoying his 7th week in total at his career high of 2. Won the title in 2020, which was played in January 2021 in Bangkok, beating Victor Axelsen in the final. So he's one of 2 players in this year's tournament who has won the World Tour Finals previously. The other player, of course, is Xiu Qi, who is the #2 seed and played earlier today and beat Jonathan Christie in 3 games. Shi Feng is 24 years of age and a tall man, 185, that's 6'1". From Nanchang, the capital of Jiangxi province, landlocked province in southeast China. And he has been as high as 3 on the world ranking, a total of 13 weeks across 2 different spells. Won the Kumamoto Masters just recently, just last month, and also reached the final of the Singapore Open. Those were his 2 World Tour tournament finals this year. But he also reached the final of the Badminton Asia Championships. Stephen Ong from Malaysia is our umpire for this one. Paul Buffon from England will be the service judge. Well, Antonsen, the only men's singles player this year to win World Tour titles at the top 3 levels. won the Malaysian Open. That was the first Super 1000 event of the year. Won two 750 events. Those are the last two tournaments that I've been telling you about, the last two tournaments that he played, the Denmark Open and the China Masters, and throw in the Indonesia Masters, which was 2 weeks after winning the Malaysian Open in January. So he's had a very good start to the year and a very good end to the year, regardless of what Antonsen manages to do here in Hangzhou. I suppose the only blip for Antonsen was his Olympic performance. Had high hopes going into Paris. He was the number 4 seed and lost in the quarter-final to Li Sijia, who went on to win the bronze medal.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Antonsen, Denmark. And on my left, Shi Feng, China. Antonsen reserve level play.
So, former champion Antonsen of Denmark nearest to us, getting this Group A match underway against Shi Feng. Well, I think we can safely say, Steen, that the two players on court here are two players very much in form, because they've won the last 3 qualifying events for these World Tour finals.
Yeah, exactly. So, tough opening match. The one who comes out on top of this match here is doing a lot of good for his own chances of progressing from the group stage.
And both players will be acutely aware of that. Off, well taken.
It was a little bit surprising that Shi Feng didn't manage to qualify in his own right. Had everything in his own hands before China Masters, but ended up losing in the first round to, was it the second round? Lin Chunyi? No, first round?
It was first round. Lin Chunyi, the left-hander from Taipei. That's a nice shot. Well, of course, if we didn't invite Olympic champions in Olympic year, he would have qualified.
He would have qualified.
Because he was number 8 on the list. Oh my goodness, that's good defence from Shi Feng. It's a good rally. Missed it. That'll get the lungs working, won't it? Sun Jun, Chinese men's singles coach, former world champion himself.
Yeah.
Didn't have Olympics in his day, did they?
Oh yes.
Oh, so they
yes.
did. They did. Yes.
In 2000, but that was won by
Another Chinese player.
Shi Feng.
That's it.
I'm not really sure if Sun Jun was at the Olympics. Oh, I guess he was. You could have 3 qualifiers back then.
Pushed it just long.
Yeah.
Service over. 4-1.
Well, number 1 seeds have done very well at the end of year finale in the Super Series and World Tour era. We've had 16 previous, and the number 1 seeds in the men's singles has won 8 of them.
Yeah. That's not bad. Also, given that it is perhaps the most difficult tournament to win.
Yes.
Because you have to play 3 from top 8 to get to the semi-final. You do have that little extra that you can actually afford to lose 1 match. In certain occasions, you can afford to lose 2 matches and still go on to the semi-final. So you have a little bit of an extra chance compared to a normal tournament. But in normal tournaments, the top 8s can only play from quarterfinal and onwards. So that's going to be 3 matches in a regular tournament. Here you play 5 to win.
Yeah. Well, already there's signs to me that Antonsen is determined to close down the net.
Yeah, the net and the front court.
Yeah.
They played an amazing match in Odense in Denmark Open, where Antonsen came through 21-19 in the decider.
Are you sure it wasn't 22-20?
I so much want to say yes, but but I don't dare.
I remember it being close, but I can't remember exactly, Steve.
Let me see. It was 22-20.
So you're buying the teas tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, that's magnificent. What a super shot.
It's gone long.
Yeah. Well, I always think in men's singles, the dominance on the front court area is very vital in the outcome of the match. But beyond that, Steen, where do you think the critical areas are going to be?
Yeah, I would say that I feel that Antonsen is probably going to win the mid-court, front-court duel. So for Shi Feng to come out on top, I feel he needs to be able to use the full court, and so far he hasn't played a lot to the back court of Antonsen. The question mark then is whether Antonsen can be efficient in his attack. Can he set himself up from the back court if Shi Feng decides to sort of cultivate it a little bit more? Oh, yeah, that's a beauty.
That's a super shot.
And also, can Antonsen maintain that control that we saw in the defense here, or can Shi Feng come up with enough variations to open up the Danes? So if Antonsen can stand his ground in the defense and control the front court, then it looks very, very good for him. I'm also looking forward to hear perhaps what the two Danes are discussing, the brothers, here in the interval in terms of drift. I must say I'm still very much in doubt of how the drift is.
Yeah, me too.
Good read.
Yes. And listen to the reaction of the fans. Here's brother Casper. Is it right that they went from the China Masters to Dubai to do some training?
Yeah, that's correct.
Has he got a graze on his knee?
Most likely. So it's sort of an integrated part of the footwork in the defense nowadays.
Yeah, but I'm surprised the umpire hasn't asked for that to be treated. Oh, I thought that was going wide.
There's some things that are suggesting that the drift is the opposite way around, that is coming from Shi Feng towards Antonsen. Those lifts there were played with a bit of an extra push, the way I saw it. Or maybe there isn't that much drift alongside the court as much as I think there is.
I don't think it's significant
No.
if there is a drift.
Super.
Wonderful angle. And to the mid-game interval with a 3-point advantage, Antonsen against Shi Feng.
Nogle gange får bagbanen lidt mere med for de høje positioner på nettet, så det ikke kun er, når vi ligger helt dernede. Med fuld opmærkelse for mig, tror jeg ikke. Men står en god løft. Jeg er opmærksom på, at hun begynder at slippe mere til dig. Ja. Ikke? Klar på dem. Og det går her lige vej. Okay. Spiller rigtig godt. Ja, fordi han rykker hårdt på serverne lige nu. Det er super, du får de der temposkift frem på banen med.
Well, I'm guessing Coach Casper must have been pretty happy with the start so far, hasn't he?
It sounded like that. I wasn't able to hear everything what they discussed, but one of the things they discussed was that Shi Feng was moving really quickly on the low serves, and I guess that's why we saw a flicker from Antonsen. They expect that Shi Feng will do the same, flick a bit more. Then they talked about the change of pace when moving forward, when Antonsen was coming from the backcourt towards the front court. I think that's something that he's done very well. No talks about any drift.
Okay, that's interesting in itself. Which suggests that if there is a bit of drift, it's not significant. Just wide.
Much more backcourt play from both players, actually. I recall from the meeting in Denmark Open, the first game was dominated by Shi Feng. He was chasing Antonsen from his long backhand corner to his short forehand corner. That was super efficient.
Good defense.
And he's not getting anything out of those attacks. Shi Feng, Antonsen have got them totally under control so far.
Takes that off his right hip, and he swayed his hip out of the way to give himself the freedom to play the shot. That's a wonderful, wonderful block.
Saves it again.
But interesting that Shi Feng was alert to that little tricky one, that inside-out backhand cross-court net shot. This one, he's alert to that, but doesn't do enough with it.
No, simply too far away from his body to do a lot.
That can't have been long by much. Brilliant. Oh,
Boy, fantastic play. That's a player with self-confidence.
yes. He has played the net quite brilliantly so far, Antonsen. Nice. And then misses it. Done the hard work.
He can't find the solutions in the attack. Shi Feng. Antonsen has got his power attack covered. His body, last try at a body attack. Antonsen played a direct winner. Oi.
Wow.
The flicker that the Danes talked about in the interval. Good shot, good shot.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I thought he was mighty close to touching it, Antonsen. Shi Feng is going to ask for the instant review to have a look at that. I saw it as more out than in, I have to say.
I saw it as out.
Yeah. In fact, he was clearly out.
One challenge remaining.
So game point opportunities for Antonsen. Opening game 21-14 in favour of the former champion and #1 seed this year, Antonsen of Denmark. Not even close, that final smash from Shi Feng. 21-14 in 23 minutes.
Men vi kan få den mere med derovre.
Ja.
Ikke?
Ja, højde på.
Ja.
Altså, jeg tror stadig, jeg har medvind i det første sæt her.
Ja, det tror jeg. Og han ligger lige på linjen dernede, så hvis han spiller med sammen, så tror jeg også, han kommer til at skyde nogen ud nu.
Så jeg synes, jeg skal sørge for, at jeg spiller hurtigt nok for forfængen. Jeg træder ind og spiller mellemspiller, ind og drejer.
Ja. Det er ikke hurtigt at træde ind i og lave de der temposkift en gang imellem, som du har med især i starten. En gang imellem lige på at trykke på ham, hvis du ser muligheden for det.
Ja.
Nede bagfra, han begynder på de der, hvor han driver op.
增加信心什么的，那我就不要主动失误，你第一局的主动失误还是偏多了一点，啊，还是要增加自己的自信，那耐心，那我就打的同时，我操，我赢了球了以后，我给自己鼓鼓气，喊一喊，叫一叫，啊，要相信自己，啊，不要打得太闷了，以后呢，你又进攻又打不死，就没自信了，啊，那我就换一个，那我就打阿顿找机会，啊。 往前扑球，你看他的往前都很好的，扑不掉不要强扑，扑掉以后上去了，能扑掉扑掉，扑不掉了，再放过来，你人的重心上去了就直接怼过去，啊，你要不然你重心失去了又扑掉，他人在后面很稳，你就回不来了，啊，来呀。
Second game.
So 1 game to the good, Anders Antonsen. Comfortable opening game as well, 21-14 against the Asian Games gold medalist Shi Feng. Now, Steen, I know you didn't get to hear all of the coaching break there from Brother Kasper, but did you hear any of it?
I heard that they were discussing the drift, and Anders was saying that in quotation mark, I still believe I played with the drift in the first game. And Kasper said, yeah, he felt that Shi Feng had played it exactly on the line, so if he played it with the same speed, he felt that he was going to put a couple of shots long now. There's the first.
Yeah.
And still wanting to play with pace and step in quickly on the front court. Antonsen, the only thing that can sort of that's super efficient. The only thing that could sort of ruin this is if suddenly Shi Feng gets his attack going. If Antonsen lifts from bad position, so lift a little bit too short. Otherwise, I think he's actually looking to be in full control, the Dane. We don't know Shi Feng. I mean, he had a week, maybe 10 days, where he thought that he wasn't playing this tournament here, so he could have been he could have been on recovery mode and then having to gear up. We don't know that.
No, exactly. May not have been on the practice courts at all.
Exactly. Second mistake on the back line. And that just shows how well Antonsen played that near side here. Because there wasn't a lot of errors on the back line.
Well, I don't think Shi Feng has worked out the drift at all. That was a terrible misjudgment. He was going to leave it, then he realised he needed to play it.
Super play. Totally read his opponent there, Antonsen.
And he's just oozing confidence at the moment,
Totally.
Antonsen, isn't he? I didn't like that slip. That could have been very nasty. But, you know, I think there's been a huge difference with Antonsen this year. Of course, he had huge problems back in 2022 with injuries, one injury after another.
Yeah.
Entered 16 tournaments, only played 6, so he withdrew from more tournaments than he played. Then last year, he was playing all tournaments, including Super 300 events, desperately trying to get back up on the world ranking, desperately trying to find his form and so on. Whereas this year, his program has been far more measured about trying to peak for events, taking breaks when necessary.
Yeah.
It's been far more professional by Antonsen.
And that, I think, is the key word. Everything about it has been more professional. He's gotten in the shape of his life. And you can see that on the badminton court. It's a different player from earlier years, and especially from when he won the World Tour finals the last time, where he was sort of like gasping for air from love all. And it's encouraging to see a player put weight behind the very much used words, come back stronger. Everybody says come back stronger, but very few does it.
Yeah.
Antonsen has done it, and he deserves credit for coming back stronger. And he should be an inspiration to a lot of other players, saying, hey, if you do things right and you continue to do things right, then results will follow.
Oh, that's weighing. I think it's a bit like the overuse of greatest of all time.
Yeah,
great in
everybody
sport.
is the greatest of all time.
Yeah, but there's only very, very few that can even be considered to be that.
Yeah. Oh, he got that back.
He's done it again.
Wow.
Would you believe it? No. Shi Feng can't. That's 3 times, isn't it?
But this was extraordinary.
Amazing. Any ideas of what this man should be doing to try and turn this around?
Yeah, I like that attack there. There was a little bit less power in it, a little bit of a slice in it and so on. He needs to vary a lot because Antonsen is, in my opinion, the best tactical player on the tour. So he's the one who can process the most reads on his opponent, the most situations where he feels, okay, this is a 60-40 situation, I'm going for the 60. So he's got to keep him guessing, Shi Feng. Then I would suggest that he played a lot more to Antonsen's forehand side than his backhand side. So if Antonsen decides to do something from his forehand side, then he's going to have to cover the court from his backhand side afterwards. I feel that he's got much better control and options from his long backhand side.
Oh, this time a lucky net cord for Shi Feng. Crikey, it's all happening here, isn't it?
And if I were Shi Feng as well, then I would completely avoid any flat game where he's not 80% on top of the rally.
Overdone it.
Sasola, 10-6. Lead, good play.
That's well left.
But again, we saw in the rally Antonsen with excess capabilities, challenging, playing back at Shi Feng at the net. So I think he's playing with the same feeling that he left China Masters and Denmark Open with. That he can do a lot on his good days. Of course, it helps when you save 3 sitters from the net.
Yes. That's a couple of times the smash down the Antonsen backhand side has been effective.
Yes, and this one is sitting just a little outside of the body. See, that's a difficult movement. So if he starts to get his attack through Shi Feng, then it's a totally different thing. That's good play. Of course, depending on the last one staying inside, but getting an extra long lift back from Shi Feng, that's crucial, and he's sort of brought himself back in this match.
So to the mid-game interval, and it is Antonsen who has the advantage, a 2-point advantage, having already won the opening game.
man ikke får lov til bare at holde nedad og holde lidt, holde nedad og holde lidt. Så skal have lidt tempo på det. I dag, jeg synes, at de bløde linjer er super gode. Stadigvæk. Det er svært for ham lige nu at holde op på baglinjen med den lidt. Jeg har voldt ny, tror jeg. Ja. Nu gør det ikke.
首先但我要吃住球，对不对？要吃得住，急急忙忙的，很多球都是在手上，是吧？连贯。
So 11-9 as play resumes in favour of the Dane, known as Antonsen. Oh, that's a super shot. Was that discussed in the coaching break?
No, not what I could hear. I had trouble hearing most of it, but he was saying something that he's not going to just let you play downwards and keep the net. And they feel that Shi Feng has a tougher time of parking Antonsen on the backcourt. I don't think he's attempted that seriously, Shi Feng. That's a good one. And also close to the line, high-risk shot.
I think Shi Feng is struggling to know what to do from the onset of the rally.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to serve, where to serve to.
But it's also because, I mean, this is normally an area where he has the upper hand, the flat game. But Antonsen is so far better. Good shot.
Yeah, that's a beautiful shot.
Good variation as well for Shi Feng.
Rarely shows much emotion, Sun Jun, does he?
No.
Missed it.
should play.
Yeah. A little bit of a disagreement as to whether the shuttle should be changed or not. He's done it again.
Fantastic, yeah.
Fourth time.
But it's also, it's a little bit like Shi Feng is running a multi-exercise there, and Antonsen is sort of like a street fighter, wants to survive in any possible way. This is the fourth time that he's not only survived, but he's scored a direct point.
Often an attempted kill by Shi Feng.
Yes, or a net kill. And it's not like it's 75% to Shi Feng in those situations, of course, but then he's got to adjust his strategy, because not only doesn't he win on it, he loses. Immediately the next shot, he loses it. And that's 4 points, that's 8 points difference. Of course, if you're Antonsen facing such a difficult match in the first round here, and you 5 times now where he's had an opportunity and ended up losing Shi Feng. But when you have a chance like this, 1 game up, you're 4 points ahead, 17-13, to win your first match in straight games, that's a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
That's something that he's got to close down.
Touched it anyway, didn't he? Landed in as well. As long as the back line, and there's a glimmer of hope for Shi Feng.
Antonsen's going to go quickly on the low serve now.
Big point, this.
That's perfect. Oi, loose.
Brilliant. Oh, he's touched the net. point with Everton now. What a fabulous rally. That was brilliant from Shi Feng.
And it's actually important that Shi Feng points at the net and alerts the umpire that he touched the net, because had it gone long, it would have been Shi Feng's point anyway.
So desperately close. 16-17. Nice. I think he needed to be a bit more aggressive in that rally.
Yeah.
I thought that Antonsen's gone a little passive.
Wait, that's a beauty.
That was fantastic.
He almost hit it backwards. The way his shoulders were aligned there. Look at that.
Big slice on that one. So once again, just 1 point in it. Good net shot.
Ooh, he stays in.
Now what on earth is...
Yes.
Well, the umpire needs to take control here. What's he complaining about? That was the service judge... So, can we hear this? Well, he was coughing. Well, there's noise in the crowd. You can't... Surely, Steen, you...
So the judge actually make a call that already interrupt his head. So
But-
you have to play along.
Well, I've never heard of that before, Steen.
No.
I mean, what if there's a noise from the crowd? You could say, OK, we need to play a let again.
But why was it played let?
Because the umpire coughed, the service judge coughed.
There?
Yeah.
But that's not a reason
That's
to play
not,
it let.
it's not a reason to play a let. Let's see what the tournament referee is on now. He's calling the referee. The referee
He's calling
is
it for a
also...
different referee.
Well, I have to say, Steen, I've never come across that.
Me neither.
And that is absolutely extraordinary. It wasn't as if the service judge called fault or something.
No, he
Suddenly,
coughed.
But there's noise from the crowd. There's noise all over the place.
Same if there's a... We've seen an instant where Gregoria Mariska Tunjung called for a let because she saw someone using a flashlight. She didn't get it, of course.
She didn't get the let. Well, that's what the crowd think of that. Well, Steen, you and I better search the rule book tonight. Find out what rule that is, that let was played under. Yeah, that's well taken. And more boos for Antonsen.
There's several things I didn't like about that. Antonsen was leaning against the service measurement post as well, and he was addressing the service judge. None of those things are, in my opinion, appropriate.
No, I agree. So, 3 match point opportunities for Anders Antonsen. This is all getting a little bit out of hand, in all honesty, Steve.
Yeah.
Now Antonsen complaining about somebody in the crowd.
Yeah, I don't know if someone is trying to turn on the lights or whatever is happening. We can't see it from here, but it's gotten out of hand.
Yeah. I'll come back to that in a minute. This is where we need to hear what the court officials are saying to each other, because one of the rules is the audience must be kept informed of what's happening.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Shi Feng is pointing toward the same audience that Antonsen was, so I don't know if something inappropriate is going on up there. We can't see it, so you can just see he's pointing in the same direction.
One more match point remains for Antonsen.
Good play. Oi! He serves it again.
Well, the crowds making their feelings known once again. Well, at the end of the day, it's match to Antonsen. 21-14, 21-19. The match lasting 3 minutes shy of the hour mark. Confirmation of that scoreline. 2 straight games. in 57 minutes. Anders Antonsen, the #1 seed, beating Shi Feng of China. So one more match to come on the second session on day 1 here at the HSBC BWF World Tour Finals. And that match coming up is men's doubles. We've had one of each discipline on court #1 here this evening, and the men's doubles features a #1 seeds again. It's Kim Astrup and Anders Rasmussen up against Shi Feng and Noor Izzuddin. Welcome back to Hangzhou. It's 9:20 in the evening, here local time, and dark outside, as you can see.